We are live. What's up, everybody? I'm so used to hearing myself. It's so weird right now, G.
It's a little different tonight.
It's a little different tonight, but this is Freestyle Friday. We just jumped on here. We didn't plan this. We was just chilling. Had some ideas that we're gonna throw out to y'all coming Sunday, but this was Freestyle Friday. It's whatever. We're just talking about whatever. Don't even matter. You did throw some stuff up there, but it's whatever.
Just
you
a
know
little,
what I mean? It's just whatever.
Little late night Cowboys snack.
Yeah.
Appreciate
snack,
anybody
man.
who's tuning in with us.
Yeah.
Let us know how we're looking, how we're sounding. Can you hear us good? We're in a different location tonight doing the show. You probably can't tell, but we are. So let us know how we sound in the comments. Let's go ahead and give some shout-outs before we jump into. We want to talk a little bit about training camp tonight. Let me go ahead and thank Jessica Haggerty, who's tuning in and commenting on our Silver and Blue Nation Facebook Live. Delta Tango's in there, Ryan Stanley, and also the people watching on our YouTube channel. Zachary Ryan, Lance Satchel, Tom Smith, Bama Boy, Rodney Jones. Thanks, everybody who's tuning in so far. I got to clear my throat, so you take it away.
So he's about to clear his throat. So, yeah, it's like you said, we'll talk a little bit about some training camp. It's getting ready to come up. I believe it's Tuesday. It's the 24th is when it officially, I believe, goes down. And then from there, you're going all the way until some August period of time. You see, you got it up there. So, I mean, it's finally here. It's finally here. We've been waiting for it, seems like forever. It takes forever for the off season. I don't know why it seems like it takes forever. Maybe because of the anticipation. I wanted to come back so bad because it feels like basketball comes back real quick. It feels like baseball comes back quick as hell. Hockey, I don't know.
Well, NFL is definitely the longest off season. I mean, basketball, I think, is only, 3 months?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like football take forever, and then it goes quick. Like, once training camp goes by and that first game gets to popping, well, man, it's like gangbusters. Like, them weeks go like boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, it's week 9, and it's like, damn, man, the season's almost over, man. And it is quick in them playoffs. It's one and done. So it's not like the NBA, you playing 7-game series, or
Right.
baseball. It's one and done. So those games are cherished and they mean everything. So,
I mean, and the reason for that is because it's much more of a physical sport and dangerous, obviously.
yes.
Dino, thanks for checking in on our Silver and Blue Nation Facebook Live again.
Which one you on?
I'm watching Silver and Blue Nation right now.
You want me to get on Silver and Blue? I'm on Big Game.
It don't matter. You can watch whichever one you want.
I'm going to be on Big Game. You manage Silver and Blue.
All right, so that's where you want to watch the show tonight if you're tuning in. Again, let us know how we sound, how we look. Jessica says we sound a little low. Let's crank us up a little bit.
All right.
Appreciate that feedback, Jessica. Again, we're on EBSN Online, Phantom Sports, Dallas Prospect, Law Nation, wherever you're watching from on that Facebook feed. Make sure you jump to the Big Game James and Silver and Blue Nation Facebook feed. That's where we're watching your comments. And also over here on our YouTube channel as well. Make sure you subscribe there. Rodney Jones said we sound pretty good, so that's good to hear. Appreciate that.
That's what's up. And what's up, everybody that's tuning in. I think it was on the Big Game. Cowboys, Mark, what's up? What's up, my dog, William Jug Gordon, Delta Tango, Daniel, my dog, Carton Barber, Khalil Small, Bobby Ruschenberg, if I said that right, Matt Hollis, Trey, what's up, Big Trey, and everybody else who's just tuning in, who just happened to jump in. Like I said, this is like a Freestyle Friday. We didn't come in with no kind of plan, with no kind of nothing. We're just talking whatever, you know what I mean? And training camp, like I said, is right around the corner. We're excited because we finally feel like we have some things. There is some questions. There is some uncertainties, especially on the offensive side of the ball with, Dez and Jason Witten being gone. New plugs in there with Connor Williams coming in from the Texas University. So it's a new receiving core, new tight ends. So it's a lot of unknown. Year 3 for Dak. What's he going to do? So it's a lot of unknowns, especially on the offensive side. Now you got the defensive side, Randy Gregory coming back, how he's going to look. David Irvin suspended, how are we going to look? The secondary, LVE, Sean Lee. It's a lot of questions, but it's a lot of excitement because I feel like this is, we got a really young team. I like having a young team. I feel like we got a lot of cockiness back on the team, and that's what I like seeing. I like seeing our team cocky and not scared when we play in a team. I want to see our team cocky, and I just want to see these good battles. I think it's going to be one of the better training camp battles in a very long time, because now, before, when they went into training camp, you knew it was Dez, you knew it was Witten, you knew those positions were set. Now you're going in here with this training camp on the offense and defensive side of the ball where a lot of things are up in the air. It's going to be a lot of fighting battles in there. So it's going to see a lot of the best. You're going to see a lot of the best out of a lot of players.
And that leads to the question about what are the position battles to watch for in camp. So let us know what you guys think in the comments. What position battles are you looking forward to the most, seeing here in training camp? Like he just said, there's so many different question marks and new players and new positions that we have yet to find out. So a lot of jobs to be made this training camp for sure. Thanks for watching Annette and Isa in Port Arthur, Texas. Let us know where you guys are watching from. Throw the comments at us. Let us get your questions and topics in there too. Raheem Scott, he has a comment for us. He says he hopes we keep the best players regardless of the contracts. He says if T. Will and Crawford get outplayed, they should be cut. You agree with that?
I'm not what Tyrone Crawford. No, I talked about this yesterday. We need to stop beating up Tyrone Crawford. It's not his fault about the contract. All right, y'all. We do need him. Everybody said he slimmed down. He really slimmed down to play the defensive end. He got 4 sacks last year. He got 4.5 the year before, 5 the year before that. He is a guy that you do need. Yes, do we want him in a lower contract? Yes. And I tell you what, if he's next year, if he comes back for a team-friendly deal, I'm more than welcome Tyrone Crawford back, because he's not old. He's like a 28. You know what I mean? He's not a bad player. We need to stop dogging him. And I think actually he might do better this year, because now you have a Randy Gregory in the fold. You have a lot more athletic guys, and he is the guy that will be sneaky and get those sneaky sacks. He'll get better matchups because they're going to focus now on DeMarcus Lawrence. And if Randy Gregory comes back to what he really was and he starts really getting into the fold, we're going to have some, and we don't know. I mean, just like I said, we said the battles. Coney Ely, we brought over, and we've been wanting him for a long time, but he's got a battle to make the roster.
Been forgotten about.
Charles Tapper, he's still in the fold, but, we don't know what's going to happen with him, because now he might be knocked down the list. He can't afford an injury. You got Dorrance Armstrong Jr., who we drafted, who, unless hell flies over and he tears his body up, he's going to be on the roster. You know what I mean? You still got Taco Charlton, year 2. He's a lot bigger and stronger. We saw him personally. He's huge now. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a lot of battles going on from left to right, and it's exciting to see. When we were asking what were we looking at as what battles are people looking interested in, I think a lot of people are going to be looking at the receiver battle. I think Cowboys Marks mentioned in here. I think a lot of people are going to be talking about that receiver. People want to see, because this is the first time in a long time we ain't had Dez.
And there's no one that's locked into a position right now. Like Allen Hurns might not be the number 1 right now.
I don't think
Michael Gallup could end up being the number 1. There's just so many different ways it could go, and the tight end position as well is just as interesting to me as that wide receiver position.
And
losing Dez and Witten at those key spots, I mean, it's up in the air right now.
And it's a perfect segue as you just said that, because Mr. Dion Reed asked me on the Big Game James page what are our thoughts about Rico Gathers, and I think my true honest thoughts about Rico Gathers' situation, like I said, I think I made a post, like part of it him.
Before you finish that, let me just shout out, because it's ties to that. Okay. Mike Jermaine Alvarado also asked about tight ends on the Silver and Blue Nation Facebook page, so just to give him his shout out as well.
Okay,
if you want to finish up there.
Like I said, Rico Gathers, just right now, I just don't want to see. I posted videos because he plays for the Cowboys. I know people want to see him, but now it's to the point where it's put up or shut up. It's year 3. The Cowboys have to get him on the field, and he has to play. I hope he plays with some ones when they play in the preseason. Get him out there with the ones and get him in situations where he can do something. I know it's the blocking. I get it. That has to happen, but we got to make something happen with him. I don't want to see any more videos of what he saying he can do. Just go out and do it. You feel me? It's the point. Just go out and do it. And that's with a few other players. Just go out and do it. Don't want to hear your talk no more, Rico Gathers. Just go out there and produce.
The key is going to be for him, obviously, health, because we saw when he was healthy, he was producing in that time he was in there. Thanks for watching Ryan Drab. He's our guy. He was on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
And you referenced the Taco Charlton, Jordan Lewis interview. If you guys missed that, you want to check it out, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there. You can find it right there with all the rest of our content we pump out every week. Ryan says one of the youngest offensive line, but still one of the best. Isa says everyone's counting us out, but we're going to monster this year. Ryan Drab likes the competition up and down the roster. Man, I got the coughs tonight. Jawan James said Big Game James looks sleepy. It's late night. We said,
yeah. You know, I'm sleepy, all right.
You need the sunglasses tonight.
I'm sleepy, all right.
Ryan Stanley says, who's going to be the number 2 running back on the depth chart? That's a good question.
That's going to be Rod Smith.
I don't agree with that.
I do. It's not going to be no freaking Bo Scarborough, bro. It's not. I think you're delusional on that one. I really do. Bo Scarborough is not coming in. And, yeah, write it down. And you're going to say I'm right on the show. Make sure you say that I am right and you are wrong about Rod Smith being the number 2 back. Okay? And when I'm right, make sure you say that. If you're right, I'll say it, but you're going to say it.
Bo Scarborough, 400 rushing yards this season. 5
He's
touchdowns.
not going to be the number 2 back.
He's going to once we get in the preseason.
No,
he gets in the game. He's
not.
rumbling and tumbling and running people over. He's doing Marion
What do you think
Barber
Rod
type
Smith
things.
is? What do you
He's
think
doing-
Rod Smith is?
He's doing Derrick Henry type
What do you
things.
you think Rod Smith is small? Have you seen that guy?
He's
Have
not Bo Scarborough.
Have you seen?
I've seen
have
Rod
you?
Smith.
Okay, did you see the tail of the tape? Did you just see how big he is?
I see Rod
He's
Smith.
big,
I
just
know
as
Rod-
big
Rod
as
Smith.
Bo Scarborough. Yes, he is.
Rod Smith's
Yes.
all right, yeah.
He's
good,
6'3". He's 245 pounds. Remember, we were
Anyway.
talking about Rod Smith being the big back. Remember?
Right, but Scarborough's bigger than him. Scarborough's like Derrick Henry size.
But what did Rod Smith do when he
you
got in the
posted
game?
a picture of him in high school. Where
And
he's
but
like,
they ain't in high school though, and he's injury prone.
so he's gotten bigger. Is my
but
point.
he's injury prone.
He might be, but I'm just saying. I think his skills. We're going to see him running people over. We're going to be really excited. We're going to be wanting
I
him
think
to get that ball.
you think you should
We're
slow
gonna
the
be
brakes on
We're going
him.
to be reminded of Marion Barber. I'm
I
telling
don't
you.
think he's going to be doing that right now. If he
Well,
does that,
hey,
I'll
we'll
be
see.
surprised.
We'll
I
be
think
looking
he'll
back.
get in, but Rod Smith is going to be our number 2.
Let us know
Is it
what-
flashing right there? Why is it flashing?
Let us
like
know
that?
what you guys think. There's something wrong with that monitor. Don't worry about that.
Okay,
it's
we're
not
good.
on the broadcast, so we're
Okay,
good.
I'm feeling great.
Let us know what you guys think about that. Who's going to be the running back 2? Both
Yeah,
Scarborough,
y'all
Rod Smith.
tell us right now. Rod Smith or Bo Scarborough? Who's going to be the number 2?
Isa said nobody's talking about Armstrong, talking about one of the rookies on defense.
Dorrance Armstrong Jr. They're not talking about him, but they are talking about him because he was one of the flash guys that they said he could be the surprise guy coming out of Kansas. He had a 10-sack season over there, but they said I watched his tape the last year after that, but it was more a scheme because he only had like 1.5 sacks next year before he entered the draft. But it was more so the scheme. But if you saw him in his 10-sack season, he has that get off the edge. He's very athletic. Looks like he could put on some more pounds, and he could possibly stand up and be a hybrid linebacker. Not all the time, but maybe possibly a few plays. But I like what we see, and they're really high on him, and I want to see how he looks in camp.
Jessica Haggerty says over here in our Silver and Blue Nation Facebook Live, she said, "You feeling good, Big Game James?" They're still talking about you looking sleepy.
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm feeling good. What's up? It's Freaky Friday. It's Freestyle Friday. Can I feel? Hey, y'all feel good with me? We chilling.
Like I said, late night Cowboy snack.
It's the late night hype.
Jawan
late
James
night
says
hype.
he wishes the NFL would go back to a 53-man roster, which I thought that's what it was.
Well,
He said those extra 7 spots would come in handy this season. Did something change?
Well, yeah, because it's a 46 game.
You're talking about active.
Yeah.
It's still a 53-man
It's
roster,
53, but it's going to be 6
Talking
or
about
7 inactives.
Ryan
on game
Stanley
day.
says Bo will produce. And let me go ahead before I move on from Ryan and check some of these YouTube comments.
Daniel says, my guy Daniel says, what about Darius Jackson? I don't know. It might be hard pressed because it's going to be between him and they're not. I don't think they're carrying no
I
4
don't think
running
he makes
backs.
the roster.
They're not carrying 4 running backs on the active. I don't see that.
Unless,
So-
like you're saying, Bo's just trash, and then Darius Jackson.
I didn't
beats
say
him
Bo
out.
was trash. Where'd you hear me say Bo was trash?
You didn't say
Don't
that.
try to throw them words in my mouth. I didn't say no Bo was
All right,
trash.
well, you're saying
I
that he
said-
can't beat out Rod Smith.
I said he can't beat out Rod Smith right now. I am saying that. Yep.
All right,
I
well,
sure
to
am.
me, that means you're not that good.
No, Rod. So you're saying Rod Smith is not that good?
No, I don't think he's that good.
Well,
He's pretty good, but he ain't that good.
Well, I mean, what
But I
made
don't
Bo?
know.
Why did Bo Scarborough go in the 7th round then? If he's so sweet,
When Rod Smith undrafted,
well, I'm just asking you though.
because he's one of them overlooked guys.
Why? He went to Alabama. How was he overlooked? He came in one of the.
I don't know. For some reason, he fell.
Right, because of injuries. And
yes,
he was injured at Alabama.
Trent Richardson and other guys.
No, he was injured at Alabama, dog. He was injured, and he was not playing his full potential.
So you're proving my point that he has all that potential, and that if he stays healthy, he's going to be a monster.
You just told me I'm right on the show.
David Short says, "Are you ready for some football on our Silver and Blue Nation YouTube feed?"
Hell yeah.
Rodney Jones asked if he can call in. We do not have that available tonight.
We wish, but call in Sunday.
We will. I mean, definitely on Sunday.
Call in Sunday.
It's
going
Make sure
down.
You watch every Sunday, especially this season. We got the pregame, halftime, postgame. Everybody loves them shows. Rodney Jones says he's looking forward to Brown versus Lewis, I guess, for that third cornerback spot.
Yeah, Lewis should be that number 2, and Byron Jones should be in the slot. That's what I think the lineup should be. But I ain't the coach. But just in my personal opinion, I would love to see Awuzie. I would love to see Jordan Lewis. I would love to see Byron Jones in the slot, and then him and AB in them 3rd and 4th slots. But they won't do it because of the contract. They're moving Byron Jones because he's on that 5th-year option. They got to see him for the contract to see if they want to sign him beyond. So he has to start in that outside position. And then you're going to see the inside where you got Anthony Brown. But they said he's been stepping up. But, they're slighting Jordan Lewis, I believe, because of that size, and I don't think they should do that. And I hope he just really comes in there with another chip on his shoulder and really shows up and shows out. And like I said, that competition is going to make the better of the whole defense as a whole because guys are fighting for spots because, Awuzie and I feel like Jones have those 2 spots locked down right now.
I'm just glad we're not saying the name Scandrick anymore when it comes to
Yes, I'm glad. But I'm glad. I hope we see him when he's in Washington. He's not hurt like he always is. And like I said, I want those young receivers. Especially I have for some reason, I feel like Michael Gallup he's going to guard Michael Gallup, and he's going to bust his ass all game. I feel like Gallup is going to bust his ass. So please, Scandrick, if it make my dream come true, I had a vision of your ass getting busted by Michael Gallup all game. So let that come to pass. I think it will.
Jesse Pope, shout out from Washington. Thanks for tuning in from there. I love Washington. That's a great state.
Oh, and just right quick, Producer G, on Big Game James page, we got 9.
We got tons of comments coming.
We got 9 Rod Smiths to your 1 Bo.
All right, we'll continue to move on to that because it seems like everybody might be with you, but that's fine. I don't want to take the popular opinion. But we'll take David Short's comment because he did say, before I get to one of his questions, he said Rod Smith would be number 2. He's basically said what you said. Bo Scarborough was injury prone, not even the starter at Alabama last year, which is fine. He don't have to be the starter. I'm not saying he's going to come in and take Zeke's spot and start. I'm just saying I think he's better than Rod Smith, but hey, we'll see. David Short says, I'm looking at wide receiver position battles. Who's going to grab the number 1 position? Can young guys step up and push T-Will off the roster?
Yeah, I mean, young guys can step up. Are they going to? That's the number 1 question. That T-Will situation is real dicey because he's never really been in trouble, has he, with the Cowboys? I mean, he had the little incident at the strip club the year before, but he hasn't really been in trouble with Dallas. So it's kind of hard to really just say you want to cut him, even though what he did was kind of crazy. That was a very cuttable reason. That's a very reason for somebody to get cut. But you know how Dallas, they are forgiving over there, and once you're kind of their guy, and they loved him when they signed him to that deal. Everybody was talking about how he came back for the team friendly. He's all about the team, and they look at that, and they always looked at him highly. And I don't know if he gets cut. We have to see if the suspension happens with him, with the DUI or whatever it's called, whatever that was. I don't know if it was a DUI, but whatever that was, riding a bicycle, just wasted. But we're going to have to see. But I definitely feel like Michael Gallup, he was a guy I wanted them to draft. He was a guy I was, kind of pushing, and we got him. I think he is going to show up. I think he's going to be have a very strong rookie year. Don't know about no 1,000 yards, but he's going to be very viable option. Deontay Thompson, he's older, but he's a speed guy that we can play in the slot. Also, Allen Hurns, we've seen what he's done in Jacksonville. He's getting good rapid, I believe, with Dak Prescott. I believe him and Dak are playing real good.
I like Allen Hurns to be the number 1.
And we're forgetting about Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to go out there and show and prove. He
was the number 1 2 years ago.
I mean, he balled out. That's when he got the big. He was balling out. So And then you got Cedric Wilson still in the fold. And then, I mean, everybody's been talking about this guy, Lance Lenore. He's been the guy that you've seen every video of Lance Lenore doing everything. And he had a game last year where he was turning up with Cooper Rush and had a couple touchdowns, I believe. And he barely missed it last year. And he's looking really good this year as far as
we got a good young crop.
We got a good young crop. It's exciting, and hey, I'm naming all these players. I forget about Noah Brown.
Noah Brown.
You know what I'm saying? And he was the pet cat last year because remember it was Jerry Jones who kept him on the roster because Jerry Jones was like, no, we're keeping Noah Brown. I like him. So we're not even talking about Noah Brown right now. So
he's more valuable. He's a good run blocker.
It's going to be really exciting because you got a lot of competition. And like I said before, spots weren't locked down like they were the last 4 or 5 years. Now spots are open and everybody's fighting. And when everybody's fighting for a spot, it makes it better.
Back in the YouTube comments for a sec here, going back to you were talking about the defense. Rodney Jones said, same here, but that's what Chris Richard wants, so I agree with you, Big Game James. And also shouted out from Richmond, Virginia. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys watch every Sunday as well. This is not our normal time. I mean, we probably will start doing a little bit more
Freestyle Friday
stuff like this, but like he said, Freestyle Friday, late night Cowboys talk. We're just kind of maybe kind of doing some testing here as well. Bama Boy said, going back to the Bo Scarborough talk, Bo should have came out after the second year they played Clemson in the national championship game. Jesse Pope said Bo Scarborough might be just practice squad material for the first season or two, and makes a good point here saying Tavon Austin will be taking one of them spots as well. You might be able to factor him into the wide receiver talk as well there. We should probably give some shout-outs to our Facebook because we haven't talked to our Facebook watchers in a second here. So we're probably behind on the comments, but
that's all right.
We'll
be all right.
Catch up. I want to at least make sure that we acknowledge, if we don't say your comment, we at least know that you're watching with us. So Matthew Shelby, thanks for tuning in, asking about the late broadcast. Yeah, I mean, this is just something different. We just decided to be random about it.
It's just a late night hype. That's all. We just a late night.
If you guys like us doing that, let us know. You know what I mean? We'll try to keep making it happen. Raheem Scott says, what happens if Jordan Lewis outplays Byron Jones? We got to get training camp / preseason to determine jobs.
I don't know, man. I think
you don't think Lewis could start on the outside?
No, I think it's politics. You know, like I said,
last year, didn't he?
He did, but that's when Byron Jones was playing safety and Chris Richard wasn't there, and he wasn't also in his option year for. We need to see how you're going to do.
And I know you get defensive, and it was against Aaron Rodgers, but he did get sliced up.
I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. Like, first of all, all right, I'm just going to really just get into people that always say, I heard a few people, oh, he got toasted against Green Bay, he got toasted against Denver. First of all, he didn't. He got an interception against Denver, and he came in after having a hamstring injury, and they just threw him in on the fly. Just get in there and play. Because there was no instruction. Because if you listen to Anthony Brown last year, he said they were just sitting out there playing. They had no spots they were going to. They had no technique they were playing. They were just out there on an island. So that should really tell you about the coaching that was going on. So he did a hell of a job considering we think about what was really going on with the coaching back there, okay? So you're going against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, and you balled out because if I watched that game correctly, he was going against Jordy Nelson, and he was playing sticky like glue on him, especially a couple times we had a couple batted balls. You went against Adams. Adams is a monster. I think he's a beast. I think he's a very good player.
He will be a top receiver.
He's a top receiver, and he's not a little dude. He's like 6'2", 230 pounds. He's a big boy. So, number one, Aaron Rodgers is right. And did Jordan Lewis knock the first one down? Yes. He came right back to him as a smart top quarterback ever does. Let me come right back at the rookie. The rookie. Let's remember that. Right. And they played off press coverage. Were they doing that? No. They were playing that cover two, being all soft and letting them go all the way down the field. Is that Jordan Lewis's fault they were playing that coverage? Okay. So let's give him a little bit more due because if you look at the stats, especially Pro Football Focus, he did a pretty good job last year playing cornerback considering what he was thrown into.
Again, we just want to thank everybody who might just now be tuning in. This is Silver and Blue Nation Live Podcast. Again, we're normally live on Sundays. We're just doing something New tonight, going live. We'll be here with probably another 5-10 minutes, something like that. We'll wrap it up. Just a little short Cowboys chat about some training camps and position battles. Delta says, who gets dropped for 94, meaning Randy Gregory? Like, basically, who's going to have to be cut, I guess.
Well, I told you, first of all, Charles Tapper, I wrote an article about him. I think he's going to be the guy unless he comes out there. He cannot be injured. Charles Tapper cannot be hurt because if he's hurt, he's gone. He's the one guy that I think is gone. I think Coney Ely may be a bubble guy because he's on that 1 year. Is he on a 1 year deal? I think he's on a 1 year deal.
I think it was a 2-year deal.
Maybe a 2 year deal.
I could be wrong though.
1 year maybe guaranteed. Could be
maybe an option for a 2 year.
Right. I think it was maybe the one option, like the two. Armstrong is going to be but I would say Charles Tapper would be the number one guy we would feel like would be pushed off the roster first because you're going to keep Armstrong, you're keeping Taco, you're keeping Randy Gregory. I don't give a hell what anybody says. Then you DeMarcus Lawrence, Irvin, Tyrone Crawford. Who else we got out there? Did I name everybody? I feel like I'm missing a rusher. I feel like I'm not. I got DeMarcus Lawrence. I got Taco Charlton. I got Dorrance Armstrong Jr. I got Tapper on there. I got
Let us know in the comments if he's missing one.
Coney Ely in there. Who's another defensive end coming off that edge?
Well, if you want to stay on let me think, I guess, for a sec. Did you mention Irving?
No, but he's really D tackle. He's really to me gonna be playing that D tackle.
I don't know, he was kind of doing both.
Yeah, but it just seems like they keep him at that D tackle now. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll flex him out maybe when we go that deacon defense, when we got the 3 defensive linemen, he can spread out to the outside because they'll use him for them long arms. But I could definitely see when he's out right now, you can throw it if Jahai Ward is really balling out like he has been in the off season.
Right.
If he does really good now, you can see him win that deacon defense, and you could really love to see the ultimate thing we want to see is Randy Gregory at the right defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence at the left defensive end, and David Irvin in the middle. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see right there. That's the ultimate thing we want to see.
Some havoc.
And then you got Lee or Jalen Smith or you got LVE. And somebody asked me about LVE in here. He's had the little tweaked ankle, but he should be all right by now. And if he can get in there. Whew.
Make sure you tune in Sunday because on Sunday we're going to set something up where I can get your expectations for him for the season. We won't get into that one right now as we're getting ready to finish this thing up. But real quick, Ryan Stanley on our Facebook Live has a something that we said we didn't really want to talk about anymore. But I kind of like his question, following it up. He says, do you think Earl Thomas' deal is media hype or it's actually going to happen? And what would you give up to get him? So I like that question.
Well, I mean.
Who draft picks and a player? Like, who you think, who was a guy you'd be willing to give up?
We don't really need to have to give up a player. You can just give up a draft pick. Look how they've been giving up all these other top players for draft picks, 4th rounds, 5th rounds, 6th rounds. You can give him up for a 3rd. What else is he going to get really with this contract? If next year he's going to be a free agent anyway, what are you really going to get for him? So at the end of the day, they said in the athletic DFW that it was a lot of media hype because Seattle ain't just giving away and Dallas ain't just paying too much. And honestly, the way Stephen Jones been operating, when have we went out there and got somebody big? It's not really happening anymore. Now, I follow a guy named Bobby Belt, and he says within his conviction that he think Earl Thomas is still going to be here. I told you what my thing is. If he's here, hell yeah. If he's not, hell yeah. We're going to be all right either way. I really believe the secondary is going to be better. Is Jeff Heath an all-world beater? No, but he does make plays. He does take them bad angles. We all know this, but he does make some plays as well. I really feel like Xavier Woods, when we got him out of Louisiana Tech, I wanted him back then. I think he's going to have a breakout year. And I think Kayvon Frazier is really going to show a lot of people what he's really about. So I'm not feeling bad about our secondary. Maybe we need some more depth, but you can't go wrong with Earl Thomas. But, I mean, for real, is Stephen Jones really going to do it? He don't spend money like that no more. He don't go out there and do that no more. It seems like he's really the guy now. You feel me, G? And when's the last time we went out there and really made that blockbuster trade? You know what I'm saying? Yes, we got money available. I seen her where we got maybe 10 to 12 million available. That we could get him. But when's the last time they really did it? And they really are on that we're building through the draft. We're staying with our young people. We're going to just go the cheap kind of route, and we feel like we can get by like that. And if you look at the record, we were 13-3. We were 9-7. We should have been won games that we lost. So it's not like our players that we have right now were terrible. We still could have had an 11 or 12 win season last year. What we had is that not bad?
Easily could
have had that. With the players,
two defensive plays.
With the players we had last year, we still could have had 11, 12 win season.
Yeah.
So it's not that Dallas is in dire need of a Earl Thomas. I still think, and we should think that we should still get 10 to 11 to 12 wins this year. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree with that. And people who didn't watch the games will be the ones to say, we sucked because they didn't really know that we were just like 5 plays from having
exactly.
12 wins.
You saw the games. Even the games we lost. When Seattle we were winning, the Chargers we were winning, the Philadelphia Eagles were winning. Even though they were by field goals, we were still winning. We were playing like crap.
KG Gist is tuned in, says he's been out for a while.
What up, KG?
Back. Dave DeLeon says he has that hat, one of his favorite hats, the one you're wearing.
Appreciate it.
Mama T's in there.
What's up, Mama T?
She just jumped in and says, you guys don't leave on board. But sorry, Mama T, this is just kind of a quick.
This was a freestyle Friday, man.
We're just about to wrap this thing up. My phone will cooperate. I don't know what's up with my phones, and touch screen's not working.
That's why I got your back over here.
Anthony Collins likes taco in the rotation. Let's see. Who else is tuning in here? And Ron Smith, always, every week, Salt Lake City in the house. Appreciate you watching. Let me see if there's
What's up, Ari, if you're still in there? What's up?
I was going to say, you can run through yours real quick, but let me give these final shout-outs over here on our YouTube channel before we wrap it up. Derek
Let's go
Wiggins,
like 5 more minutes. 10 more.
Stevie Mack, Cowtown Tex, Richard Lampkin, Green Box says, what's up, Big Game James?
What's up?
Says, can I get a safety in the first round next year, please?
Yeah, we could. We'll see what happens. It depends on how that record is looking. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at a lot of comments on the Big Game James page. A lot of people is just, kind of just going with the flow with us. They just really believing about the situation with the Tapper, that he might be the guy kind of X'd out. I still think Rico Gathers still may be a surprise cut. Remember I said that last month, or maybe a little past. I said he might be a surprise cut a while back. Because I don't think they're going to keep 4 tight ends on an active roster.
No way. And
I think they will go longer in the receiving core because we have the unknown. So I think they will go longer receiver. Offensive line, we may go shorter because Connor Williams, I feel like, is going to get plugged in quickly. Fleming's going to be on the team.
Yep.
I think he'll be our swing tackle because he was already being in there when Tyron Smith had his rest days, so you can see him being our swing tackle.
Maybe Chaz Green.
I think they're going to keep Chaz Green.
About it.
I think they're going to keep those guys. I don't know what happens with Looney.
7
Martin, I don't think makes the team because he's out to prove something, but I don't know if he really makes the squad. So where you see, I think we may go long. Maybe linebacker is going to be another interesting battle to me, G, as well. Because, we have our set 3 guys with LVE, Jalen Smith, and Sean Lee. But now you have March Lillard. You still have Damian Wilson. You have Joe Thomas. They converted the one kid from Northwestern. They trying to see what he looks like. So it's who's gonna be those backup guys after if somebody gets hurt, who's gonna be a guy that's gonna step up. So and the other kid, Covington, that we drafted out of Indiana, we're going to see what he looks like. So that's going to be an interesting battle as well, that who's going to be for backup spots, because we're going to need depth this year, because you saw what happened when we had guys get hurt. Sean Lee is not a guarantee. Jalen Smith still, even though he's not playing with the brace, he's still not a guarantee. LV's has some injury things go on in his college career. So you have to have depth in this league, and we have to have quality depth that can step in. That's been our biggest issue, G. That's when we have guys that got hurt, the guys that come in aren't on the level of that, and the play falls off, and they're not coached correctly, it seems.
We always attribute that to coaching.
They're not coached correctly, and then we lose in critical times in the game.
Well, I guess you could look at it like now we have 3 good linebackers, so the odds are one of them is going to stay healthy. Latoya Bright checks in on our Silver and Blue Nation Facebook Live. Anthony Collins is wanting us to talk about Bo Scarborough a little bit. He must have missed it.
Everybody loves Bo, man. They love Bo.
Basically, Big Game James, don't think he could beat out Rod Smith for the number 2 back. I think he can. I don't know if you want to touch on that at all anymore. You said you wanted a few more minutes.
Yeah, I want a few
I'm
more
about to
minutes
chill my mic.
because I'm feeling everybody right now. Everybody jumping in talking. Like I said about the Bo Scarborough thing. I think, bro, I was happy with the pick. When we got him in the 7th round, I was ecstatic. I liked the pick, but I just don't see him overtaking again when we got Bo. Yeah,
Bo.
I was ecstatic when we got him in the 7th round. I couldn't believe we got him in the 7th round. But like I said, I know he had those injuries at Alabama, and he kind of got knocked down. He came in at the hype and kind of wasn't the hype, so they kind of just So now I feel like he's in a perfect situation, but I feel like they really love Rod Smith, and I think he's going to get every opportunity, and I think he's going to continue to show what he's made of. As a number 2 back, he's versatile. He plays special teams. He can catch out the backfield. He can block. He has the weird running style, but he does run hard, and he is physical, and he does give us a really good option. And just like I think somebody mentioned, I could see Bo being on a practice squad and then, maybe bringing him up in some games. But being on an active roster, I don't know about that. We'll see. I don't know if they keep those 3 running backs. And just like you said, Tavon Austin has the running back listing on him. He could be in that 3rd mix because you can do trick plays with Austin in that backfield.
Mama T says her birthday falls on the day that the Cowboys play the Colts in Indianapolis. That'll be a game that we will be attending.
Yes.
And Rojaz Anthony says our linebackers are going to dominate.
I think our linebacker, those first 3, I think those first 3, but anybody else, I think our linebacking core is going to be fierce. I think it's going to be attacking, and I really like it and really ready for it more than anything else. But we're not moving no Randy Gregory to no outside linebacker. That's what we ain't doing. He's going to play that defensive end. Somebody said that when he's playing there. We need a right defensive end. That's what we've been clamoring for forever. We got a stockpile of left guys, DeMarcus Lawrence, Taco Charlton. I think Tapper, he can play the left and the right. What's up, big dog?
You don't think Gregory could transition like DeMarcus Ware?
No.
Like DeMarcus Ware could play both.
I don't even want to see that. I want him on that right defensive end, being an animal that he is, and let's use that ability because we need him and DeMarcus Lawrence coming off that edge that we've been craving. I'm telling you, we've been craving to see, and I'm ready for it. And also, just to throw this out there, training camp, like I said, is around the corner. It's next week. I apologize. But G is going to be down there in Cali from the August 14th to the 21st. And you'll actually be, should I tell you, you're going to be there in camp? He's going to be at camp on what days? The 15th and the 16th. The last 2 days he will be there at camp. I'm going to get down there. I'm looking at the days around the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's what the time I'm trying to make it at there. If that doesn't happen, I'll be there around your time, G. But really trying to get there during that earlier time. Make some moves. Try to holler. Rub some elbows. Who knows? Get down there and get some good footage. See through the eyes of us. You know what I mean? We always get to see through the eyes of, the Brian Broadduses of the world and Dave Hellmans and those guys, Nick Eatman. It's good to get down there to camp and be able to see. I want to see Randy Gregory for myself. You feel me? I want to see DeMarcus Lawrence. I want to see Connor Williams. I want to see Michael Gallup, Dorrance Armstrong Jr., Kayvon Frazier. I want to see all those guys myself and evaluate them and be able to look at them and see, is this guy really lazy? If they're saying Rico Gathers is this or, David Irvin is, I want to see if this is really true for my own self. I don't want to read it. I don't want to hear it from somebody else anymore. I want to get my butt down there and speak it to you guys. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I'm doing just a lot of gibbering, jabbering, but we appreciate everybody. Like I said, we kind of freestyled this. We kind of just threw this. We didn't have no plans. We was just sitting there chilling, talking. So we was like, let's just go live. You know what I mean? Let's just go talk live and talk about some Cowboys football. Definitely make sure you checking in on Sunday. Like always, we'll be at our regular time, 3:30 to about 5. Trying to get some good people. Actually, I don't know if I should say this, but I got to talk to our friend requested Lincoln. Remember Lincoln Coleman? Remember that name? You remember Lincoln Coleman? He played on the one championship year with the Dallas Cowboys, 93, I believe. He was a 93er. He was a 93, I believe. You on there now? But he was a 93 guy. A friend requested him, and hopefully I can get him on. But, Sunday, we'll just be talking Cowboys football. The biggest thing we want to get excited about is camp because, like I said, these battles are going to be like no other, and I'm just really excited about that. And I just really excited to get to California for real, more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? We been down to Texas. We've been down to Indy. Went down to the scouting combine. That was nice. That was real nice.
Yeah, I remember Michael Gallup standing out that day.
Yeah, he did. He was looking real good. That was a real exciting time because we got to really see those guys. And it's different. I'm telling you, G. That was really good because it was different. Remember, when you see him on NFL Network watching them and when you're seeing them live, it's just different and it's better. You get to really look at them. So we got to go down to Indianapolis. Went down to, I went down to the draft this year. Went down to Texas and Mexico. Shout outs to DDP and Law Nation. For real. Shout out to you guys. As always, had a great time. Talked to the draft. And now we're trying to go down to Cali. Well, we are going down to Cali. You're for sure. For the training camp. And we're definitely going to be at games week 1. Carolina. We'll be down there week 1. Carolina. Cowboys. Cam Newton. Dak Prescott. Ezekiel Elliott. It's going to be the hype. Indianapolis will be there for the Indy game. Definitely. We're definitely going to be at that Philly game. We got to do a Philly game again.
I mean, even if we're not like at the game inside the stadium, we're still going to be doing some kind down there doing some kind of tailgate show or something.
Kicking it.
Where everybody who's there, if you guys want to meet us up, come
down and kick it. We're just out there kicking it for real. We're just trying to
game day predictions. You know what I mean? What you think about what's going to happen during the game, things of that nature. Cornhole.
I'm just ready. I mean, you know what I'm just really ready for more than anybody? The defense, everybody. I'm just really ready for Dak. I'm really ready for Dak for year 3 because he's got so many people, so many skeptics and haters now.
Feels like there's a lot of pressure on him this year.
It's a whole lot of pressure because it's so funny how you can fall from grace in 1 year. You can be the Mr. Everything. Rookie of the year, wasn't he? Getting every award imaginable and then having a quote-unquote down year, regress year.
Yeah. Again, like I said this before, like 6 of his interceptions were like off receivers' hands. And if those aren't interceptions, that's less picks for him and maybe more touchdown passes, if those drives turn into touchdowns.
They're definitely under 10. And because he's not a guy that really likes to take
This is why the receiving core has been reworked because of that reason. Half of his picks were off of tip balls from his own receivers or running the wrong route or not going for the ball. That's why the receiving core is being switched around because these guys weren't making plays for him.
Well, not just that. Things I want to see. I'm just tired of people saying he can't throw a freaking deep ball. I'm just tired of.
I'm telling you why they're saying that because they're not watching the game.
Yeah, they're not watching the game.
The stats and the record.
And they're listening to ESPN and they're listening to Shannon Sharp say Dak can't throw, or listen to someone else say he can't throw, and then they say he can't throw past 5 yards. Then everybody wants to jump on there and piggyback that he can't throw 5 yards. I'm tired of hearing that one. Oh, he can't throw past 5 yards. That doesn't make any kind of sense to me when his career average is over that. His career average is at least. He threw 8.1 his first year. He regressed to 6.8 his next year. So he's averaging at least a steady 7. So that's a career average. I think that's the NFL average, is averaging 7 yards a pass. I think that's the NFL average. So why are you saying he?
Like per attempt?
Per attempt, 7. Tony Romo for his career averaged 7.8.
Cousin Greg just made a point, too, that Tom Brady, he's always been a dink and dunk, check it down. It's more to me about, how you are mentally.
It's the windows. Can you hit the windows?
When you do it.
It's the windows, you know what I mean? But like I said, Tony Romo's career, even in his best year when he had the 2014 season, his was like 7.9. Dak was 8.0 his rookie years. Tony Romo's best year was 7.9. You know what I mean? So ease up, back up off the kid. The dude's going to do his thing. But, I go
back to it again with the receivers. Like, how not only we're just talking about interceptions that were receivers' fault.
Right.
How about all the drops, all the bad routes that were ran? Every game last year I felt like we were complaining about the receiving core. And that's a big part of why I think, because Cole Beasley was his man in the first year for that kind of stuff. And Witten had a regular Witten-type season last year. But Cole Beasley was shut down because teams are like, all right, that's your strength. We're targeting in on that.
Well,
make Dez beat us. Make Terrence Williams beat us, and they couldn't do it.
Well, and they were like, give the ball to Witten because nobody was scared of him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Witten did what Witten does. 50 to 60 catches, something like that. 400, 500, 600 yards.
Right.
That's kind of where he's been in the last few years.
Right, but they're looking at him like he's not a threat. You know what I mean? So just like you said, we'll double Dez. They're gonna double Dez not because Dez is that much of a threat, because we don't feel like you got nobody else.
I mean, they were doubling Beasley.
Right,
like
I'm saying
they were bracketing him.
They were bracketing him, but they were still doubling Dez.
Because he was the number one guy, the year before.
True, but they were still doubling Dez too.
Yeah, maybe somewhat, but no one was scared of Dez last year. He didn't have that same. We all know.
He still got some
Anyway,
respect.
that's my point. Was like, I think he had a bad season. Well, what people think is a bad season last year because of the receiving core, and I'm just happy that the Cowboys recognize that, and now they're trying to do something to change that.
Yeah,
and I'm not worried about the number one receiver. How many times have we said it? You just need a guy who's solid, the quarterback can count on. Maybe that's Allen Hurns. For Brady, that's Julian Edelman. Like, just in comparison, and got teams that win Super Bowls, they don't have those top-notch receivers.
Well, the biggest thing with receiving core is you got to have a quarterback to get it to him. So as long as Dak is making the throws that he needs to, we'll be okay. And I feel like we always still have a chance when you have Dak. And as long as the biggest key is always going to be injuries. You have to be healthy, somewhat healthy. You're not going to be totally healthy. That just doesn't happen in the NFL. But injuries are going to play a huge key within the season. And as I said before, I feel like when you look at our offense, we're not going to come out like gangbusters. I don't feel like our offense is going to come out like gangbusters. I feel like our offense is going to be slow because we have new moving parts. I feel like once you see about 5, 6, 7 games into the season, we'll start understanding what more it's about. Just like I said last year, our defense would gel last year in midseason, and it started to gel, and you saw how it took off toward the latter part of the end of the season.
Yep, shut down that Super Bowl Philadelphia offense.
I mean, we looked good. I mean, we were shutting down the Chargers and all those guys until we didn't have the offense to put any points on the board.
Really.
Our defense was keeping us in those games, but we couldn't put any points on the board, and you can only keep a team for so long. You know what I mean?
Like earlier in the season, the offense was carrying the team. The defense was hurting us.
Right.
It's funny how that works.
Exactly.
You can never get it both going at the same time.
Exactly.
That's how I feel when I play Madden. It's the same way, man.
I don't even play Madden no more. Like, I don't even play Madden anymore. I used to be a Madden dude, but I don't mess with Madden no more. I don't know why. I feel like the games are so damn long.
Yeah, they are long. I mean, me and cousin Greg,
they're time consuming.
We do a franchise mode, but we're co-op, like we're on the same team. 45 minutes a game. We've probably done 30 seasons at least.
Damn.
Yeah,
over
the years. I don't do
that no more. I haven't played Madden in so long. Like, I play with my son. Me and my son will play sometimes, but it just seems like the game is so long, and the way the games are set up now, back in the day when you played Madden, you could kind of just throw it up in there. Not that I was that kind of player, but now my son, he really kind of knows it, so I have to really concentrate when I'm playing him. You know what I mean? It's
don't want to get beat so he can talk trash.
Yeah, because he be talking trash, dog. Like, he talks trash when we play basketball. Like, he runs his mouth, but he can only beat me with the Rockets. He uses James Harden and Chris Paul, but he can't play. I'll be like, play with somebody else. He'll play with somebody else. I beat the brakes off of him. And I play with regular teams. Like, I'll play with teams like, even in Madden, I don't play with the Cowboys all the time. I play with weak teams. I play with teams that are not teams that are good, that I'm going to come out there and beat you. I was playing with them Sixers and the Wizards and all them other teams when nobody was playing with them just so I could beat you. And I like going to people's house. I don't like you coming to my house. I like going to your house and beating you on your field. That's how I play.
Well, there's your video game segment from Big Game James for the night.
I don't want you to, when we play each other, you're not coming to my house. I'm coming to your house. I'm going to beat you in your house. That's what I really love to do.
2K trash talk with Big Game James.
Yeah, I'm now.
So hey, you heard
Madden, you might get me if I got a gamer code Big Game James 72.
Gamer tag?
Yeah, my gamer tag is Big Game James 72. I don't get down on Madden like that, so you probably will beat me. I will give you a very competitive game, but you probably will beat me because my skills are rusty. But if you jump on that 2K, I might get in you because I'm pretty good. I can play with good teams. I don't try to play with them though. I get at you with them regular squads and holler at you real tough.
Appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight. You ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, we ready to wrap it up.
Well, then make sure you check us back out on Sunday.
And what was I going to say? I was going to say something.
I don't know.
Oh, make sure you check out Sunday because we got something good for you. Some funny. Remember we was talking about funny? We made the little thing. We're going to have a good funny, so make sure you tune in. I think you're going to like this one. Tune in Sunday for the funny show.
I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
You know what we're talking about. Redhead. Yeah, redhead.
You think we'll have that done by Sunday?
Yeah, I'm going to be on it tonight.
All right.
I'm gonna be on it tonight. I'm gonna be on it tomorrow. I'll be at work, and while I'm listening to all them knuckleheads give me all those, I'm not paying attention to them when they're calling. I'm just gonna be writing things, and I'm like, "Did you hear what I said? Remove the late fee." I said, "Oh yeah, late fee. All right, I got you. Move."
There it is. Well, then until Sunday, that's Big Game James,
and that's Producer G Voltron,
and this has been a Producer G production. Peace.